Welcome to the first USL League One Wednesday night of the season, coming to you from Foxborough, Massachusetts at Gillette Stadium, where New England Revolution 2 plays its first match in 25 days against the currently unbeaten 2020 finalists, Union Omaha, brought to you by United Healthcare. Joe Malfa with you this evening, very pleased to be with you as New England plays for the first time in nearly 4 weeks. While that could be a negative, Clint PA and the boys want to turn that into a positive. They started the season with a 1-0 win over Fort Lauderdale, followed by a 3-0 loss to Richmond. They say the layoff gave them a chance to review those couple of games, allow players to get healthy, work on the little things, and grow together as a unit. And all the while, they were able to play a couple of scrimmages against USL championship squads. So a long layoff, but something they are seeing as a positive and ready to roll it into a positive performance against Union Omaha, who has started the season in tremendous form. They picked up right where they left off at the end of 2020, a pair of 2-0 victories. They've only conceded 7 shots on target. Opposition has not been able to crack that back line. Evan Conway leads the way with 2 goals. Greg Hurst has one as well. Dami Villader has the other. All things clicking positively for Union Omaha to start the 2021 season here in USL League One. And they have a big one this weekend, so they have to be careful not to fall into the trap here on the road against New England. And it's been Rashid Nuhu who has been big at the back for Union Omaha. All things moving in the right direction. The weekend action has been great through the first 3 weeks of the season. It's time we shared the wealth with the middle of the week. The first Wednesday night game of the season coming right up on ESPN Plus between New England Revolution 2 and Union Omaha. Few moments from kickoff, presented by United Healthcare, between New England Revolution 2 and Union Omaha, as the select ball is trotted out to midfield here at Gillette Stadium. Joe Malfa with you for tonight's action, and we start with the Santander player to watch. It's Jake Rzansky, who got into the mix late for New England Revolution 2, but was immediately given the captain's armband. Here's Clint PA and Jake Rzansky on that decision.
Understands where he needs to be on the field. So I think showcasing all those qualities. He's vocal, he's got good game understanding, and he's willing to communicate with the other guys from day one. So great qualities in a captain.
Personally, it means a lot to me just because, I don't think I was expecting it, just being a new guy, and there was guys from last year that played here. So personally it means a lot, and I feel like the guys, they're rallying behind me. They really respect me, and I really appreciate that.
The rest of the lineup around Jake Rzansky brought to you by Michelob Ultra. Want to spotlight Joe Buck making his professional debut up from the Revs Academy. Outside of that, a lot of the same for New England Revolution 2 from the lineup we saw 25 days ago, headlined by Justin Rennicks up top. And a familiar face as well on the opposition. Nicholas Firmino making his return to Foxborough, spent last season with Revs 2, came up through their academy, scored against Union Omaha when these teams last met. So a lot of history between Firmino and both of these teams, but now locking arms with the other side, Union Omaha in the middle, number 10. Lineup that, again, similar to what we've seen so far this year for Union Omaha, sponsored by Michelob Ultra. Ethan Vanderkoor-Decker getting his first start of the season. He had a knock, missed the first game, then only played a half an hour in the next game, but they are just about at full strength. They're 2-0, and they've got a big game coming up this weekend against Greenville as well. Have to be careful not to fall into the trap here against New England in the midweek. Omaha wearing their blur uniforms on the road tonight. New England in their traditional blue tops, red bottoms. Adam Kilpatrick set to blow the whistle to get us underway. First midweek game of the season here in USL League One. Off and running at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Elma N4 takes it down. Omaha, a team that likes to try to start quickly. They're going to pepper a lot of shots on goal. They led the league in shots last season and already 27 shot attempts through 2 games this year. They're not at the top of the league in shots because there are teams who have played 3 and 4 games compared to their 2. But on a per-game basis, they are right up there here in League One to start things out. New England last year, one of 2 sides to beat Greenville and Omaha, the 2 teams that finished atop the table, were set to square off in the championship match. The other team joining New England was Richmond in beating Omaha and Greenville. New England team that started off slowly last year, picked things up midway through. Had it been a normal season, they would have been right in the thick of things in the playoff race. Joe Rice gets it across calmly to Dooley's, and the Revs will build out of the back. Dooley's sends it out. We take a look at the Shields Healthcare Group injury report. Colby Quinones out for New England. Toby Otieno still waiting to make his debut this season for Union Omaha, as Elma N4, ever the acrobat, tries to send a ball on to Pancho via the bicycle kick. But it's back the other way. When these teams met last year at the beginning of the year on this field, a 0-0 draw. Rennicks across towards the backside. Taken down by Rivera. Vanderkoor-Decker battling with Spalding on the wing, and Firmino comes away with it. His first touch against his former team. A 0-0 draw to start off the 2020 season between these teams last year on this field, and New England got the better of Omaha later on in the year. Dami Villader was out for that game. Be calling his name a lot tonight. There he is for Union Omaha. Takes his space. Out wide for Boyce. Options in the box. Firmino, Boyce, Villader, nice give and go. Boyce with some space. All the way to the far side. Souza can't get there. Spalding clears. That stretch where New England beat Omaha last year, as I was mentioning, came when Villader was out. He got injured in a match against Chattanooga, missed a few games, and the team lost 3 in a row with Villader out. He's back into the mix, and he is the reigning USL League One Player of the Week. Key component of this team defensively and offensively. You'll see him streaking up and down the left side throughout the night. Pancho turning Spalding, puts it into a dangerous area, but the clearance is made up towards Rennicks, all the way back to Nuhu. N4 gives chase and commits the foul, as Sean O'Hearn is able to get rid of it. Take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by Geico. For New England, start strong again. They won their first game of the season, lost the next, and had a 25-day off span. So here we go, another new start to the season for them. And then for Omaha, as I mentioned, avoid falling into the trap. Before talking about New England beating Omaha and Greenville last year, one of two teams to do so. That win against Greenville came on a weeknight when Greenville had a big game that weekend in USL League One. Here we are on a weeknight, and Omaha has a game on national TV against Greenville this Sunday. So very similar spot to when New England knocked off Greenville last year. O'Hearn taken down by Vandercourt Decker. Returning the favor, O'Hearn cleanly does it. Looking to send Sekulius, making his second professional start. Connor Presley to get it back into play. This is the third different position he's playing so far this season. He was a winger and used mainly as a forward and an attacker last year. Now on the back line. PA and the coaching staff saw something in him, wanted to make the conversion. He's embraced it, and he's looked good there so far. Another one of those players who saw that long layoff as a blessing in disguise, according to PA. Just more time to work on that new position, get comfortable in the scrimmages against USL Championship squads. We'll see how that translates onto the field tonight. All the way back to Osumanu. Renix with some heavy pressure. Nuhu looking to play out of it. And the keeper clears. Official points in New England's direction. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com. One and one start to the season for New England before the layoff. 2-0 for Omaha. New England's first two games, an illustration of how stats can be very deceiving in a match. Thoroughly outpossessed and outshot against Fort Lauderdale, they win 1-0. The game against Richmond, stats are even across the board for both teams, and possession heavily favored New England. They lose 3-0. Clint PA, after reviewing that game, felt there were a couple things that they hurt themselves on, and the outcome was not reflective of their performance, so something to build on. And again, just going back to that theme of having these couple of weeks off to correct those minor things that led to that result. Nothing catastrophic in terms of a fatal flaw in the foundation of the team, just some minor things that need to be worked here or there in the early stages of the season. And for a very young team that has some MLS guys bouncing back and forth throughout the year, those 24 days were used to their fullest advantage, getting guys acclimated to the system, acquainted with each other more and more, build that chemistry, work on the little things. And now New England the rest of the way has a much more normal schedule. Sierakowski has the team's lone goal this season, drops deep all the way back to Dulis. That goal came against Fort Lauderdale in that 1-0 victory. The captain, Rosansky, turns. Firmino harasses, sprayed out wide, and now forward to Spalding. Promising build-up for New England. Calmly marching up the field, it's Rivera. The debutant, Joe Buck, sends it back and receives again from Presley. First start as a professional for the Academy product. Rivera on Souza. Rivera takes his space, cuts in, crosses, and it's cleared by Boyce. Always doing the dirty work, Devin Boyce in front of the back line. So much emphasis for Omaha placed on winning that 50-50 ball, so much so that they become 80-20 balls in their favor. And Devin Boyce, one of the illustrations of that. Very hard worker in the midfield for Union Omaha and head coach Jay Mims. Buck through to Presley. Clean challenge, says Adam Kilpatrick, taken away by Firmino. Skiers goes back to Knutson. Osumanu out to Souza, who, like Rosansky, but this time for Omaha, was given the captain's armband at the beginning of the season. Vanacore Decker out to the captain, Faraday Souza. Cross sent in, and Pancho looking to get under it before it was headed away by O'Hearn. Danger still there. Flicked on by and for Vanacore Decker's shot. Wide out for a goal kick. That attack begins with Faraday Souza down the right wing. Jay Mims was very happy to give him the captaincy. Last year it was Sebastian Contreras, one of the elder statesmen on the squad. And towards the end of the season, as Contreras went out of the lineup, he bestowed the armband on Souza with Jay Mims' blessing. Opportunity on the wing for Dami Villader. Can't get the final piece right. 10 minutes into this one. Still scoreless between New England and Omaha. These teams met on this field just once previously to begin last season. That was also a 0-0 draw. A pair of 2-0 victories for Omaha to begin the season. Now 190 straight minutes without conceding a goal to start things off. Renix, Sierakowski, Rivera, and company hoping to change that swiftly here this afternoon into evening at Gillette Stadium. O'Hearn plays direct over the top, running onto it. Rivera, foot race with Souza, can either keep it in. Rivera does. Nutmeg keeps it himself in the box. Rivera goes in, the shot, saved by Nuhu at the near post. Brilliant bit of play from Tico Rivera. The speed to keep it in, the touch to get it by Souza. Only thing missing was the finish. Had teammates with him, but Nuhu makes the save at the near post. Replay brought to you by NL as Spalding is taken down. Quickly put back into play by New England. Clint P.A. will be very happy with everything about that last attack except the finish. It's the one thing he feels they really needed to work on from the first two games. They only got the one goal against Fort Lauderdale and then got shut out against Richmond. Felt they had opportunities, but just lacked the quality in the final third to convert. Renix, pressured by Osumanu. Rosansky, the Virginia and Maryland product, out wide to Presley. Long toss from Villader. Dulis heads it forward. Renix trying to hold up play, but he is called for the foul. Renix last season had 8 starts, 4 goals, 1 assist for New England. And despite just playing half the season, those 4 goals were tied for the team lead. Helped the team on a 5-game unbeaten streak after he joined the fold. And he had 3 game-winning goals in that span for New England. Yet to score this year, as I mentioned, the lone goal so far for the Revs, scored by Sierakowski. Nuhu bides his time and lofts it down the field. Spalding comes crashing in, wins it from Vanacore Decker. Spalding weaves through a couple of those blur jerseys for Omaha. Rosansky with some space. Presley calling for it. The captain turns and lays it off for O'Hearn. Omaha advancing the pressure up the field. New England breaks it. Presley to Sekulius. Working on Villader. Now Boyce steps in and commits the foul. Boyce unhappy with the call. Felt he got the ball. But a set piece in a dangerous area brewing for New England. Good spot to get across in as Rosansky comes in to take the ball. Spalding comes over now for a quick chat. Poncho and N4 make a two-man wall. Congregation of 6 Rebs and 6 Owls at the back of the box. Rosansky sends it that way, and it's headed away before it gets there. O'Hearn sends it behind Buck and out. Take another look at the NL replay. Ball towards the penalty spot by Rosansky. Renix making the run, but cleared away by Omaha. One thing Jay Mims said they pride themselves on is being able to look at the stats at the end of a game and say, Nuhu only had to deal with none, 1 or 2 shots. Goalkeeper is only as good as your back line. Fewer shots he has to face, the better. And through 2 games, they've only conceded 7 shots on target. Already 1 here, but that's still the only one in the first quarter hour at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. And last year, for as good of a season as Omaha had as a back line, Rashid Nuhu, 6 clean sheets, second team all-league. He only had to make 32 saves in 15 games. Rice out to gather, barely stays in the box. But to J. Mims' point, 15 starts, 32 saves for Nuhu, and one of the games he did not play it in its entirety. So just over 2 shots per game he had to stop. Sierakowski taken down. Mims credits the continuity and chemistry on that back line for Omaha as being the main key foundational part of this team. Osumanu, Souza, Villader, Knutson all started together last year, all starting together this year. A talented bunch that feels good playing together with Nuhu barking out orders from behind them. Very tough to break them down, but New England did it to the tune of 3 goals on the road last season. Revs looking to be the first team to score on Omaha this year. On the verge of 200 straight minutes for Omaha without conceding. But Renix latches on to this one. Sierakowski in the box waiting. Laid off instead to Rivera. Now sent in towards Sierakowski and Presley, but headed away by Knutson. Poncho out to Souza. Vanacore Decker has it knocked away. Intervention made by Joe Buck. 18 years old from Arlington, Massachusetts. Academy product who is committed to Georgetown for the 2021 collegiate season. Rice across to O'Hearn. This Omaha side, from time to time, they will pressure higher up the field. Shows a different look to the opposition. Keeps them on their toes, and it's a way for them to conserve their energy but still keep up the pressure and force turnovers deep in their attacking third. Via Dare back to Nuhu. Sekulius applies the heavy pressure. Knocked out by O'Hearn. Poncho ready to get it back in. USL League One makes history Sunday afternoon as Greenville Triumph and Union Omaha enter the national spotlight. The title holders from Greenville welcome Union Omaha to South Carolina as both sides look to set the tone early in 2021. Watch it live as League One makes history Sunday, May 16th, 4 p.m. Eastern. Its first ever appearance on ESPN2. Via Dare lays it off for N4. Firmino takes a favorable Omaha bounce initially. Poncho couldn't find it though. Space for Vanacore Decker, working on Spalding. Vanacore Decker takes it in. Shot attempt with the outside of the boot is blocked. Skiers keeps it alive. Shouts for handball against Rivera. And Kilpatrick comes in to make the call. First chance on a set piece now for Omaha. Omaha's shutout streak has now eclipsed 200 minutes. A chance to celebrate it with a goal. Thought the handball was called, but instead just a throw-in. Kilpatrick had run to the spot where the infraction seemed to be committed and pointed, but just for a throw. N4 chips it up, but out for a goal kick. Joe Rice back in net. Did not get the start the last time New England played. That belonged to Edwards as he was getting some minutes from the MLS side. Something that Clint PA will have to deal with throughout the season as part of this verticality between the Academy, Revs 2, and New England Revolution in the MLS. But a core group of guys who will be here throughout the year. Maybe a change or two each week. And as Clint PA said, as long as they come in wanting to win, that's all that matters. Firmino, quick look over the shoulder, saw he had some space and takes it. Out wide towards Vanacore Decker, but cut out by Spalding. Renix drops deep to retrieve it. Spalding back into the starting lineup as well on that left side. Another one who did not start the last time the Revs took the field with an MLS player in the mix, but one who figures to be a fixture in the lineup throughout the season. Spalding again. Rivera. Space cut down quickly by Souza, but for the second time, Rivera beats him and has space. Rivera towards the end line. Rivera in front. Sierakowski just overran it. If Sierakowski holds that run by a millisecond, might have been able to get that left foot on it. Another look at the NL replay. Rivera is feeling it today against Souza. And he beats Skiers as well. A little bit too far out in front for Renix. A little bit too far behind Sierakowski. Good opportunity for New England, showing signs of life here in this first half against a very tough Omaha back line. And it's all come through Rivera. Vanacore Decker picks his head up, floats a ball to the backside of the box via Dare, keeps it in. Centers it for Boyce, turning. Boyce, shot towards the far post and saved by Joe Rice. Hoping to spring a quick counter with the throw out to Sekulius, but he slows it down. Beats Skiers. and lofts it over the head of Rivera. Good opportunity for Omaha on the NL replay, kept in by Villadere. Not enough pace on it from Boyce as it was heading towards that low right corner. Kilpatrick backs Souza up. Jay Mims wearing a green that doesn't quite match Omaha's, but still in the family, I guess. On a chilly night in Foxborough. .63 degrees. Slight chance of rain. Hope we don't see that. But a great evening for soccer here in USL League One. The first midweek game of the season. Vandercourt Decker to the back post, headed away by Spalding. Renix trying to go quickly. Good pressure by Osumanu and Souza. Spalding takes it into space. Osumanu backtracking. Clears it over his head. Sent further by Firmino and taken by Rivera. Dangerous ball back. Sierakowski pressures, but Nuhu is able to clear. Buck puts in a heavy challenge. Draws the ire of Kilpatrick. To the pocket he goes for a yellow card. .26 minutes into Buck's starting debut. Picks up the yellow on this challenge. Take a look at it on the NL replay. Buck made 13 appearances in 2019, his first season with the Revs Academy. 15 goals at the academy level since 2016. And now making his starting debut for Revs 2. As Skiers gets up, walks it off, looks to be all right. Vandercourt Decker has switched now to the left side, at least momentarily. We'll see if that persists. Poncho had been on the left, Vandercourt Decker had been on the right. Vandercourt Decker led the team with 6 assists last season. All League One second team. Another heavy challenge in by the Revs. Card comes out of the pocket again, this time against Connor Presley. Heavy challenge against his former teammate, Nicholas Firmino. Take another look at it on the NL replay. Presley going for the ball, but certainly late and caught all body. And a chance now on the free kick for Omaha. Villadere stands over it. Had a goal and an assist last week. Earned him Player of the Week honors here in League One. Seeing if he could spring another goal for the Owls. Villadere sends it in. Kept alive, headed wide by Skiers. Shouts for a deflection, or answered. Corner coming for Omaha. Villadere will take this as well. 23-year-old from Barcelona. Gets it into play. Goes short with it. Gets it back. Villadere sends it in. Rice has to punch it away. The flag goes up on the far side. That bicycle attempt will not count, as good as it looked. Dangerous ball sent in by Villadere. Rice had to make the intervention. That might have been going in from that angle. And it was Vanacore Decker crashing in who drew the flag from the assistant referee. Renix can't get there. Headed back to Nuhu by Souza. Second team all-league keeper in 2020. Working on a 210-minute clean sheet streak to start this year. Sends it forward to N4. Pancho looks at his options, lays it off for N4. He regathers, has options in the box. Laid off for Villader. Villader sends a cross in. Rice will let that one go. And Spalding clears out for a throw. The USL is committed to supporting the LGBTQ plus community through the Forever Proud project. The USL will strive to create safe and welcoming environments for all fans, players, employees, and partners. Learn more at uslsoccer.com/forever-proud. Souza the long toss. Spalding the header. And the foul goes against Firmino, who has been in the thick of things against his old teammates. Couple of fouls against him. Couple of fouls drawn by Firmino. 4 goals, 2 assists in 16 games last season. 15 of them starts for New England Revolution 2. Made his pro debut on this field last year for New England against Omaha. And one again by Firmino. Space to work with. Boyce to his right. Firmino takes it himself, now gives it to Boyce. Out wide for Souza. Chipped in. Firmino under it, tries the bicycle kick, doesn't make contact. Dooley steps across. Villader keeps it alive, sends it in. Cleared again by Dooley. Omaha surging now. Just waiting for that last piece of the puzzle after New England had enjoyed a good bit of play earlier in this half. Nuhu sends it back down. Vanacore Decker still on this left side now. So it seems like it was a decision from Jay Mims to make a switch. Knutson to the chest of Souza. Boyce back to Osumanu, and Omaha looks to build out of the back through Skiers. Direct towards N4. Looking to win the second ball. Spalding just shields him off. Take you back to that last opportunity. Firmino had that lined up, it seemed. But Dulis gets in the way. Vanacore Decker takes it down after headers were exchanged in the middle of the field. Opportunity brewing. Firmino looking for a lane to shoot, doesn't find it. Lays it off for Boyce. Boyce against Spalding. Souza sends it in. O'Hearn sends it away. Knutson thought about going back to Nuhu. Renix, wise to it. Space for Boyce. Opportunity for Pancho. To the end line. Pancho cuts it back for Boyce. Flag stays down. Ball did not go out. Firmino comes in with the header, but snaps it wide. Pressure starting to mount for the Owls against the Revs. That's now 6 shots for Union Omaha. Still just the 1 for New England. That came earlier in the half when Rivera made the nice play down the wing and got by Souza. Rosansky. Presley in some space. Playing right back for this team, but has the liberty to go forward. Sekulius centers it. Renix volleys it. It takes a touch on the way in, and Renix is feeling that right leg after the shot. Hope he's all right. A look at the NL replay. Well struck, but Osumanu cuts it out. Renix immediately grabs down to that right hamstring area. Something to keep an eye on over the next few minutes. And 4 lays it off for Vanacore Decker, now to Firmino. Poncho to Villadare. 35th minute here at Gillette Stadium. Joe Malfa with you this evening. The first midweek game of the season in USL League One between two 2020 expansion sides. Firmino taken down by Rosansky. And now Renix gets physical. That last bit of contact draws the foul. Souza into Poncho. Souza over the top. Rice off his line. Buck already has a yellow card in his debut. Lofts it forward, looking for Renix. Knutson looked like he hit it with his left hand, and the Revs players immediately shouted for it. But he plays it back to Nuhu, no call given. Boyce has had a very active first half. A little bit too strong for Poncho. Firmino down again, no call. Acres of space for Rosansky, plenty of options as well. Still with it. Uses Sekulius on the right side. Presley making the overlapping run. Sekulius keeps it. Sekulius still with it. The shot takes a deflection and is cleared by Vanacore Decker. Confidence from the youngster. 18-year-old Michael Sekulius, another one of those academy products, making just his second ever start for Revs 2. 2 appearances last year. 1 was a start. 1 was a brief cameo off the bench. Renix to Sekulius and cleared. And 4. Taken down harshly by Dooley's. 3rd yellow card of the half. All 3 against New England. Dooley's, Presley, and Buck, the 3 recipients. And that's 2 members of the back line. So New England has to be very careful. With still just over 50 minutes of game time remaining. The right side of their back line each have yellow cards. Very heavy challenge from Dooley's on the NL replay. Enfor still down in pain. Spent last season alternating between starts and coming off the bench for Omaha. Gets to start today. Made his start in League One with Lansing back in 2019. Had 4 goals and 3 assists and 18 appearances for that squad. Still being worked on after the very heavy collision with Dooley's. "26-year-old from Cameroon. N4 emigrated to the U.S. in 2003 after winning the diversity visa lottery established by the Immigration Act of 1990. Jay Mims now out to check on his player. Very lengthy stay on the ground for N4, but finally sitting up. Clint PA and the Revs bench look on. It's been a very physical half between both teams. 3 yellow cards have all gone against New England. Omaha has settled into a lengthy stretch of time here as the aggressor offensively, with New England on their heels. N4 to his feet. Decision to be made now for Omaha as far as whether or not he can continue. Thing going in Omaha's favor, though, if they want to take a little bit more time to assess N4, they could play down a man for 5 minutes, just get into the halftime break and make the decision then. But N4 is trotting out there. Seems as if he wants to just continue. Looks to be all right. Jogging it off. A player who is always smiling here in League One. It's good to see that smile back on his face after this heavy collision. So the action begins, and N4 stays out there. Scratch everything I said about that decision to be made. Poncho in. N4 was there. That would have been something right after getting up from that collision to score the opening goal, but Poncho could not feed it through. Via Dare to get the throw back in. N4 keeps it in. Via Dare crosses it, taken down by Vanacore Decker. Still with it. Looking for an option. Firmino. And knocked forward by Sekulius. Renix battles with Knutson. Rosansky in tight quarters, lays it off for Presley. And finally, the ball sent into some space. But the flag goes up. It was up to signify the ball was over the line for a throw. Villadare takes it. And possession goes right back to the Revs. Unsure of what stoppage time will look like here in the first half. Don't typically see a lot of first half stoppage time, But after the stay on the ground for N4, could see a larger first half number than is typical. 6 shots for Omaha, 3 for New England. Long run for Souza. Good ball in from Vanacore Decker, finds feet. Boyce there as an option. Spalding knocks it out for a throw. Possession just about even at 50-50 between these two teams as well. Ebbs and flows of the first half. New England had periods of time as the aggressors. But a lengthy stay now by Omaha on the front foot. Yields a corner. Their second of the evening. Villadare took the first. Boyce set to take the second. New England conceded a late first half corner kick goal against Richmond last time. It was 24 days ago, but well defended this time, and they draw the foul as they go the other way. Limited crowd in attendance for Revs 2 here at Gillette Stadium. Friends, family, and craft group employees. Sekulius, a heavy touch, gives it away to Poncho. Souza through for Vanacore-Decker. Boyce making the run down the wing. Vanacore-Decker uses him, gets it back. Too much on that one, out for a goal kick. Just a few minutes remaining here in the first half. We await the official word on stoppage time. Joe Rice waves everybody forward. Wayward goal kick. Out for a throw for Omaha just across the halfway line. Into the path of Boyce. N4 turning. Lays it off for Poncho. Poncho against Spalding. And it's out for another corner kick. Third of the half for Omaha as the clock ticks up to 45. New England was down 1-0 against Richmond at this juncture of the match. And their last time out there, now in United Healthcare stoppage time. And in stoppage time, Richmond doubled its lead with a goal off a corner. Can Omaha make New England pay as well? Nearly. Skiers heads it over the bar. Seventh shot for Omaha. Still just one on target. Quantity has gone to Omaha. Quality, you could say, has gone to New England. The save that Nuhu had to make, a lot tougher than the save that Rice had to make earlier. And Rivera also had that attack he sprung where Sierakowski was waiting at the back post wide open, but the pass just a little bit behind him would have otherwise been a tap-in. But no opportunities for either team taken. Still scoreless. Souza with a nice play. Finds Poncho in the box for the shot. That is gathered without much trouble by Rice. Nice bit of play from Souza to split the defenders on the NL replay. O'Hearn goes all the way back to Rice. Sekulius. Rennick's making the run down the wing. Receives it from Sekulius. Sends Villader flying. Now takes it in. Rennick still with it. Cleared out to Presley. Presley trying to find space for a cross. He does. Falls to the back post. Rivera puts a foot in, but sends it over the bar. Pressure from Souza. Did not allow Rivera to get a clean look at that. Dangerous chance created by the Revs near the end of the half. The cross took a deflection on the way in. Seemed like Knutson got in the way of Nuhu as he was coming off his line to either grab it or punch it. But the crisis averted for the Owls. Now just seconds away from the halftime whistle. The shutout streak for Omaha lives despite that dicey moment. Once the whistle blows, it will be 5 halves of soccer here in 2021 without conceding for the Owls, barring something right here at the death of this first half. That won't come. Scoreless at the half between New England and Omaha. First match in 25 days for Revolution 2. And for Omaha, they just keep chugging along defensively. Still have not conceded in Nicholas Firmino's return to Foxborough against his old team. Some opportunities for both teams in the first half. Quantity went Omaha's way. Quality went New England's way. 8 shots, 2 on target for Omaha, 3 shots, 1 on target for New England. Back in a few moments with the halftime show brought to you by Gillette. New England none, Omaha none, here on ESPN+. Here on the Gillette Halftime Show, Joe Malfa with you. We had our first 4-game Saturday in USL League One this past week, and it was filled with action. We start with some emotion, though, out in Richmond. It was a tough week for the fans, for the club, as they mourn the passing of David Bulow. They honored him with a moment of silence in the 10th minute. It was his number that he wore as a player with the squad. He was the team's coach in their first year in USL League One. Heavy hearts, somber moments from the fans to begin that game. But the team on the field would give them something to cheer about as the night went on, and they faced South Georgia Tormenta, looking to nip a 2-game losing streak in the bud. Back and forth they went for the whole game, and it ends with Emiliano Terzaghi finally breaking through for Richmond. The pass from Olex Anderson got things going, and Terzaghi, as he did last year when he won the Golden Boot, just finding a way. I mean, look at this. Falling away, left foot, chips it to the top corner. Any way he can get it, he does. Now, the next one came a bit easier after Olex Anderson was able to draw the penalty, and Terzaghi from the mark, where he so often converted last year, gets it going again. You see the emotion from all the players in this game. A 2-0 win for Richmond. They snap a 2-game losing skid, and at the end of a long week for the club and their fans, something to cheer about for the Richmond Kickers. Plenty more action to come. The first action in USL League One for North Carolina FC as they get going. Early penalty called against North Carolina, and Marius Lomas would convert at the spot for Greenville. And ho-hum, another great start to a game for the Greenville Triumph, who are coasting so far through the early part of the season. They weren't coasting through the early part of the game because shortly thereafter, a goal for North Carolina courtesy of Selmer Mischich. Nice little misdirection and a great strike to the back post. That tied things up at 1, but something that teams in the league are all too familiar with, and now North Carolina being new to the league, already introduced to. A goal comes later in the game from Lachlan McLean. Greenville had other opportunities as well. This one saved off the post. But Lachlan McLean, as he has so often in USL League One, gets the goal, goes over, has a little boxing match with the corner flag, and earns 3 points for Greenville Triumph. A 2-1 victory for Greenville, who have a maximum 9 points through 3 games already. North Texas against Chattanooga Red Wolves. Chattanooga joining the fold, their first game of the year, doing something that no team at any point last season was able to do. Win on the road in North Texas. They were pressing from the get-go. They were a high-energy team last year, we know that, and they come right out with that same energy. It's Jimmy Villalobos, who is my favorite name in USL League One. His name means House of the Wolf. He plays for the Chattanooga Red Wolves. He gives them the 1-0 win over North Texas on the road. And then in the nightcap, FC Tucson against Forward Madison. It was Madison's first game of the season, Tucson's second. Back and forth game for much of the first half, and then it was a giveaway in the second half that allowed Tucson the breakthrough. Derry Korf, newly acquired this year, gets them off and running. Great to see fans out there in Tucson for the first time in a long time after they could not enjoy the games in person last year. We saw all those drive-ins they used to do, but back at the stadium, something to cheer about, but not for long. Later in the second half, Jake Keegan, 15 goals now in USL League One. That was his first with Madison, and it gave Carl Craig a point in his debut as the Forward Madison coach, a 1-1 draw. That's a lot of the action from this past week. Still more to cover. We'll get to it in a few moments with news and notes from around USL League One.
When I was 12 years old, I injured my right foot in a soccer match, and my dad would bring me out here to work on left foot only. Dribbling, passing, shooting, set pieces. Very strict left foot only policy where if I used anything with my right, it was 10 push-ups, 10 jumping jacks, 20 sit-ups, sprints, anything. But I used to come to this field right here, which it doesn't look so nice right now, but I mean, it used to be Lynn family style condition before. That's one of my favorite soccer memories.
My whole team ready. Big dreams, big things, we want it. You won't forget it.
Top of the area, will chip it with the right and in.
Trying to get around Guido, and Asante delivered.
Terzaghi takes it, saved by Newhoop. He gets on top of it.
Over footstep, Pilato. Oh, what a strike!
Field will have home fans in Madison. That coming up this weekend. Your player of the week, Dami Villadair, had a great performance last week. Maybe another one coming up on national television against Greenville, Sunday, May 16th, 4 p.m., the league's first ever nationally televised match. Joining Villadair on the team of the week, a lot of guys who got their team's victories. Villalobos got a goal for Chattanooga. McLean got a goal for Greenville. Terzaghi had 2. Korf had 1 in a draw. A lot of goal scorers this week on the team of the week here in USL League One. On that scoreboard, a draw in Madison's first match to look to improve on that. Chattanooga joined the fold with a win. Greenville keeps rolling. Richmond back on track. And Omaha kept plugging away with their second 2-0 win of the season. This week, one game on Saturday, but the first ever Sunday quadruple header in League One history. And it all starts at 4 p.m. with the league's first ever nationally televised game between Greenville and Omaha on ESPN2. Back in a few moments with highlights and stats here on the Gillette Halftime Show. Watch party for the Owls fans at Rathskeller Beer House out there in Omaha. Looking like they're having a grand old time, hoping to will their team from afar to a goal in the second half. Scoreless at the half between New England and Omaha. We take a look at the highlights from the first half in this matchup brought to you by Gillette. Opportunities for both sides. Quality went New England's way, quantity went Omaha's way. Here is one of those quality opportunities for New England. Rivera to the end line, touched it through the legs of Souza, took it himself. Only thing that was lacking was the finish. Nuhu makes the save at his near post. Only save made by Nuhu in the first half. Only shot on target for New England in the first half, but they had opportunities. Villader beat Presley down the wing. Set up a shot here from Boyce that was saved by Rice. Joe Rice only had to make 2 saves. Collectively 12 shots, only 3 on target. Here's one of them between the two sides. Rice up to the challenge. 35th minute, another attack comes through the wing for New England. Presley able to spring Sekulius. And a volley put in by Renix takes a deflection off of Osumanu. Don't know where it would have ended up, but it certainly seemed to frighten Nuhu, who was already getting into that dive. But Osumanu makes the block. Great group defending on the back end for Omaha. Halftime stats brought to you by Geico. 8 shots to 4, 2 on target to 1. Possession even down the middle. The 3 yellow cards, though, for New England. They'll have to be very careful in this second half. The right side of their back line, Dooley and Presley, have 2 of them. And then Joe Buck has the other in the midfield. Omaha, this not their only game of the week. They play this weekend against Greenville. The title game we unfortunately did not have last year, but we get it on national television, ESPN2, 4 p.m., May 16th. This Sunday, unfinished business, the tagline, between Omaha and Greenville. Looking forward to that one on the league's first ever Sunday quadruple header. 3 games will follow. Various kickoffs at 7, 7:30, and 8, but that one at 4. Omaha had to be careful not to fall into the trap that their opponent Sunday, Greenville, fell into last year. A midweek game at New England with a big game on the weekend looming. Greenville lost one of their couple of losses last year, came against New England. This time around, midweek for Omaha at New England. Big game coming on the weekend. And the Revs trying to pull off that same victory in the same situation. New England really came alive down the stretch last season, courtesy of Justin Renix popping up in the squad. They are one of 2 teams last year to beat Omaha and Greenville. They're 1-1 this year. Had 24 days off. Now had a half of play to get back into a rhythm. We'll see what they can do in half number 2. Whistle coming from Adam Kilpatrick. Half number 2 begins. 0-0 between Omaha and New England. First 10 minutes or so of the game, neither team looked too threatening. Then New England settled into a good bit of play. But the last 24 minutes or so of the first half belonged to Omaha. Neither team, as you see on the scoreboard, able to turn their positive spells of play into a goal, though. These teams have now played 3 halves on this field going back to last year without a goal being scored. New England won the second game between these 2 teams on the road in Omaha, but they opened the season with a 0-0 draw here at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Joe Malva here with you for half number 2 of the first midweek game of the season in League One. Presley dealing with a few grabs by Firmino, and Vanacore Decker draws the foul. Spalding finds Rivera in space. Rivera responsible for creating the 2 best chances of the half for New England. Omaha has yet to concede this year. That first game for New England against Fort Lauderdale, Clint P.A. credited the halftime talk between the players as what led them to that 1-0 victory. Thought they came out a little bit sluggish in the first half of their first game. Really rallied, though, in the second half. And then they had a weather delay in the final few moments of that game where they were able to once again go to the locker room, regather themselves, and come out and push that win over the finish line. We'll see if a halftime chat sparks another positive result for New England. Even first half overall between these two teams. Too strong over the top for Renix. In that season opening win against Fort Lauderdale, it was Sierakowski who got the goal for New England. Very strong defending as a unit down the stretch. Sometimes better to be lucky than good. Fort Lauderdale hit the post a few times in that game, but New England came away with the result. Very small sample size of 2 games, but both times New England looked to be a second half team. The 3-0 loss against Richmond in their last time out 24 days ago. 2 of the goals were conceded in the first half. In the second, it was all New England. It was remarkable that they were unable to score a goal. They had so many chances, just had bounces that wouldn't go their way, shots that were blocked in front, a post was hit. Poncho can't find N4, cleared by Presley. Right back at Poncho again. Presley put to work again. Dulis clears, but Vanacore Decker takes it down. The shot from Vanacore Decker. That nearly broke the scoreless draw between these two teams, and it yields a corner for Union Omaha. Joe Rice got a touch to it, off the crossbar and out for a corner kick. Taken short by Villader. This time he sends it in, and they'll do it again. Villader waits for a ball. The Revs players warming up. Down behind the goal. Villader takes a corner, and it's cleared away by Spaulding. Firmino lays it off for Villader. 3 blue jerseys around. Villader trying to walk the tightrope in the corner. Out for a New England throw. Time for O'Hearn, and he's finally able to clear it out of the defensive third. Up towards Renix, but Osumanu heads it back for Souza. Space for Boyce. Souza joins the fray to help, as does Firmino. The former Revs 2 player lays it off for Skeers, and Omaha will try attacking through the left side. Vanacore Decker. About a quarter hour into the first half, he switched from the right to the left, and he stayed there ever since. Taken away by Renix, and taken down by Skeers. That will draw a yellow card. Tactical foul from behind to stop that attack. A wise foul from J.P. Skeers. Look at the NL replay. That gives Omaha their first yellow card of the day. 3 against New England. Buck, Dulis, and Presley the recipients, and now 1 for Skeers. O'Hearn looking to send Presley down the wing. Too far out in front, and Villadere takes it. Omaha had a lead by this point of the match in each of their first 2 matches. First time entering halftime deadlocked. Souza with space. Inside for Firmino. Nicholas Firmino against his former team sends it over the bar. Nine starts and 14 appearances for New England last year with 2 goals and an assist. Spalding gets it from Rice. New England struggling to get any attack going here in the second half just quite yet. Spalding goes long. And once again, Villadere up to the challenge. Rosansky lays it off for Renix. Perhaps something here. Renix out to Presley. In front towards Sierakowski. Cut out by Knutson. Kept in by Villadere. Good little touch to get it past Presley. With a guy like Justin Renix, things can change in a hurry for New England from defense to offense. Firmino over the top towards N4. Foot race against Dulis. N4 wins it. Help arriving, but he can't pick out one of those brightly colored jerseys. Skeers from distance. Saved by Rice. Looked like it hit off his fingertip, but no. Call is for a goal kick. Another look at it on the NL replay. Skeers saw his opportunity. New England plays out of the back. High press from Omaha. You get the sense maybe they smell some blood in the water. They've been on the front foot the first 10 minutes of this entire half. New England has struggled to get it across midfield against the Owls. Long ball though into space now. Villadere tracks it ahead of Sekulius. Somehow stays in. Well done by Renix to win it. Knutson heads it. Calm chip over to Souza. Spalding pressures. Challenges against Boyce, but wins it. Rivera. He's been the creator for New England today. Space for Rivera. Eyeing up a shot, lays it off. Sierakowski couldn't get it back to him. Sekulius lifts it towards the back post, and Nuhu makes the grab. New England preparing to make a sub. First of the match. Michel checking in for the Revs. Sekulius sees his day end. Substitution brought to you by Santander. Michel made an impact after he came in as a sub against Richmond as well the last time we saw New England. First bit of play here for Michel as he looks to chase down Firmino, who gets it out to Vanacore Decker. Michel there to defend. Touching it past Villader, but gives it away. Firmino. Now with Poncho. Souza to Boyce. Boyce lays it all for Villader. Vanacore Decker. Back to Villader and now Boyce. Flag stays down. Time to run well off the back line. Sent in, headed away by Dooley's. Skiers, another shot from distance. This one over everything. Couple of shots from distance for JP Skiers. This one not as close as the previous one on the NL replay. Spalding down the wing. Couple of subs coming again at the next stoppage. Rosansky does well to keep that in as Firmino threatened to take it away in some space. Rennick's battling with Knutson. He thought it was last off Knutson, but it's out for an Omaha throw. And here come those substitutes for the Owls. Evan Conway, Greg Hurst. The two of them account for 3 of the team's 4 goals this season. Subs brought to you by Santander. We'll see what kind of impact this has on the match. Greg Hurst joins from the Chattanooga Red Wolves last year. 8 goals, was good enough for second in the league. Already made his impact with a goal at home in front of the fans at Warner Park for Omaha. Conway has a goal in each match this year. He lays it all for Boyce. Boyce with it. Finding an option. Falling for Souza. Working with it. All blue jerseys around him. Souza still with it somehow. And now finally New England able to clear their lines. Rivera. In for Presley. Renix can't handle it. A lot of heat on that pass. Heavy touch from Renix, but still pressuring Osumanu. Past the hour mark now at Gillette Stadium. Joe Malfa here with you on ESPN+. First midweek game of the season here in USL League One. Scoreless still between New England and Omaha. Omaha has now made it 2 full matches and now 60 minutes without conceding. They're 2-0. New England's got a win and a loss. These teams meeting for the second time ever on this field. Last time they met here at the beginning of last season, a 0-0 draw. Are we heading that way again, or will either team find a goal that gives them the 3 points? Evan Conway and Greg Hurst inserted into the match for Omaha to help that cause as Buck sends it down the tunnel. A pair of 2-0 victories for Omaha leading up to this. A goal in each match for Conway, 1 goal for Hurst, the other for Villader. And after that shot, Buck goes down, getting some help from Renix. On the road, can't watch the match? Turn on SiriusXM FC, North America's only 24/7 source of soccer radio. featuring Ray Hudson, Tony Miola, Rodney Marsh, and the brand new USL All Access featuring Mike Watts and Devin Kerr. Every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, fans of the USL can now listen to the best matches of the week, along with action from MLS, Premier League, UEFA Champions League, and more. SiriusXM FC, channel 157 on your SiriusXM radio and the SiriusXM app. Boyce, inside for Conway. All he's been doing for this team is score. But it's sent the other way. A lot of space for Sierakowski on the run. Rennicks in the middle. Firmino backtracks in the middle. Skiers fronts Sierakowski, who's still with it. Laid off for Rosansky. Rennicks to Michel and line. Nobody in the middle. Positive signs from New England. Rennicks earns a throw. Presley can't keep it in. Another sub preparing for New England. Heavy contact down the wing. Play continues. Sierakowski pressures and wins the throw. Players stop momentarily thinking a foul was coming. Whistle was never blown. Joe Buck takes it down, goes across to O'Hearn. Rivera gets past Boyce. Chipped in towards Rennicks. First touch, lays it back for Rivera. But Boyce cuts it out. Another solid performance for Boyce in front of that back line, cleaning things up for Union Omaha. There's a lot of the dirty work. Firmino takes it. Battle with Rosansky. Finds its way out now to Evan Conway. Goes right at that back line, Evan Conway, laid off. Takes a deflection off of Presley, another corner for Omaha. New England has not yet earned a corner in this match. This is the 6th for Union Omaha. Villader sends it in. Center of the box, headed towards frame, but wide. Off of the forehead of Knutson. Possession still sitting at 50-50 between these two teams. 13 shots for Omaha, just 3 on target. 5 for New England, just 1 on target, and that came all the way back in the first quarter hour. Sierakowski goes down. Back and forth the teams go. Michel taken down by Firmino. O'Hearn all the way back for Joe Rice. O'Hearn chips it to Rivera in some space. Souza out to greet him. The intensity picked up a bit once Hurst and Conway were subbed in. But we've hit a bit of a sloppy lull as the teams go back and forth gifting each other possession. Osumanu out to Souza. Viadair has some space, the reigning player of the week. Vanacore Decker making the run down the wing, but Presley will cut it out in front of him. Two more subs, it appears, getting set to check in for Omaha. Still waiting another for New England as well. To the end line. Opportunity brewing for Omaha, but shielded out well. Here come the subs for Omaha. Skiers will check out for Amir Alihodzic. And the other, Connor Doyle for Ethan Vanacore Decker. Both subs brought to you by Santander. That's 4 now for Omaha. They've got one more. Souza. Boyce, pressured by Rivera, into going back to Osumanu. Alihodzic checks into the middle, right where Skiers vacated that spot. Newly acquired this year, played for Jay Mims at University of Nebraska, Omaha, before Mims left the college ranks for USL. Over the top, looking for Hurst. Cleared away by O'Hearn. Cleared out by Presley as Viadair went down the wing. Connor Doyle's first touch. The other player acquired from Chattanooga, in addition to Greg Hurst. Doyle taken down. Play on, says the referee. Firmino taken down. Play on again, says Kilpatrick. "20 minutes remaining of the 90. Still scoreless between New England and Omaha. Inching closer to that same 0-0 scoreline these teams played to when they met here in Foxborough last year. In the return match in Omaha, New England secured a major victory over Omaha. Viadair down the wing. Lays it off for Firmino, who scored in that match for New England against Omaha. Good bit of interchange. Hurst with it. Greg Hurst still. Firmino took a crack at it. Chip to the back post. Conway waits for it. Scissor kick saved by Rice at the near post. Evan Conway, a bid for a third goal in 3 matches. Joe Rice makes the save. First opportunity we've seen in quite some time for either squad. Well taken by Conway. Into the ground, nearly over the shoulder of Rice. Corner taken, center of the box, ball loose. And the call is a goal kick despite the protests from Omaha. Renix will exit the match. Fujiwara checks in. Another Santander substitution for New England. Rivera. Alihodzic steps in. Down the wing towards Doyle, but sent out. If the substitutions are any indication, J. Mims going for the 3 points on the road here. Took out all three guys along the top line to bring in Conway, Hurst, and Doyle. And what does that say about the strength and depth of this Omaha team? Being able to take out the likes of Poncho, N4, and Vanacore Decker for Conway, Hurst, and Doyle. Boyce advances forward. Hurst calling for it in the box. Laid off for Souza. Boyce continues his run. Lofted in towards Firmino. Still alive. O'Hearn heads it. Taken down. Alihodzic blocked. Shouts for penalty. Contact, edge of the box, no call. Conway now goes down. Hurst battles for it. And finally, Dooley's clears. Take another look at that on the NL replay after the block on the shot. Contact made. Presley looking to kick the ball. A good non-call for me by Kilpatrick. Play continues. Nearly a quarter hour remaining. Rivera lays it off for Rozansky. Sierakowski spins. Hurst with it. Conway to his right, making the run down the middle, but Hurst uses his speed against Dooley's. Laid off for Villader. Promising few moments for Omaha. Villader stepping past Dooley's. That ball goes out and in. Goal kick. The United Soccer League, all 12 League One clubs and its players stand together in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. For more information on the USL's commitment to change through the United Racism Campaign, visit uslsoccer.com. $15 to go of the 90. Rice to get it back into play. Omaha coming to life after the substitutions that were made. They still have one more at their disposal. 3 more at the disposal still of Clint P.A. He's brought in Michel and Fujiwara for Renix and Sekulius. $16 shots for Omaha, 5 for New England, possession at 50-50. Firmino out wide. Sierakowski pressures all the way back now to Knutson. Another steady game at the back for Knutson and Osumanu. They were challenged by Renix. Very dangerous player to deal with, who made Omaha pay last time these teams met at Warner Park in Omaha. But nothing for Renix this time. The dangerous man for New England has been Rivera, and he advances forward once more with Fujiwara to his right. Rivera dispossessed cleanly by Alihodzic. Long ball to Conway, working on Dooley's. Conway in the box, goes down. Decision to be made by Kilpatrick, and he just says get up. No call. Jay Mims irate on the bench. That's 2 calls that Omaha thought would go their way. Sierakowski loses it. Buck settles. Rosansky. Out wide for Rivera. Inside Fujiwara. Spalding with him. Instead, he goes centrally towards Presley. Cut out by Knutson. With the advances both teams have made down the stretch here, you get the sense a goal might be brewing, but will it come? Greg Hurst lays it off for Boyce. Cut back for Firmino. Shot taken by Firmino, just wide. Out for a goal kick. A break for a substitution. And it's the Bucks exchange for each other. Joe out, Knoll in. O'Hearn in the middle for Michel. Fujiwara takes his space. Wide of Sierakowski, out to Rivera. He's been the guy for New England today. Looking to create, but has it knocked away. Only as far as Buck. Inside Sierakowski, lifting his head up, shot blocked. Michel lays it off for Presley. Give and go with Fujiwara, but a heavy touch from Presley. A thumbs up for Fujiwara, good idea. The execution wasn't there. Take you all the way back to that last play that had Jay Mims mad on the sideline. Doolise and Conway going at it. No call there. And then the shot from Firmino. Knuckler just wide. '80th minute. Omaha looking to start with 3 straight wins. New England looking to get back in the win column. They opened the season with 1 against Fort Lauderdale, then lost to Richmond before 25 days off. They have another game this weekend, 8:30, home against Chattanooga. And for Omaha, next up, that big match at 4 p.m. on ESPN2 this Sunday against Greenville. The unfinished business from last season. Greenville the champions, Omaha the runners-up. After the season ended without that match being played due to COVID. Rosansky very unhappy with the call. Sets up Omaha with a chance to send in a dangerous set piece. A lot of targets in the box that could put one home for Omaha. The Owls had 27 shots in their first 2 games. Already another 18 today, but just 4 on target, and none have beaten Joe Rice. Via dare to take. Lofted in. No brightly colored jerseys crashing towards it. Knocked away by Buck, only as far as an Owl. Conway keeps it alive to Firmino, turning, shooting. Doesn't catch it cleanly, and now down in some pain. Gets back to his feet as Omaha regathers possession with this throw. Take 2 on the throw, this time from closer. Souza once again. Conway back to goal, taken down, edge of the area, no call. Presley. Back for Fujiwara. Pressure from Hurst. Rosansky slows it down. Dances past Conway. The captain very calm in the midfield for New England. Loads of experience in Israel before making his way stateside to join the Revs after a successful collegiate career. Presley taken down by Doyle. A late whistle from Kilpatrick. Ball was moving when it was taken, the free kick, so they'll redo it as New England tried to play too quickly. Fujiwara with some space as he picks his head up. Shot from distance. Gathered by Nuhu. Was trickling wide. Nuhu grabs it anyway. A long punt. Hoping to spring an attack the other way. And he does to Hurst. Pinpoint accuracy from Nuhu. Greg Hurst! Assist for the goalkeeper. Goal for Greg Hurst. The Owls are on top 1-0. From Nuhu to Hurst to beat Rice. Only the third goalkeeper assist in USL League One history. Greg Hurst gets his second goal as a member of the Owls. What an idea from Nuhu. Could have just let that shot go wide. Kept it for himself, and Hurst the finish on the NL replay. The Owls maintain their shutout streak on one end, and then Nuhu gets involved in the offense at the other. Now New England has to chase the game. Michel chips it in, Rivera making the run, and Nuhu guards it out. We've had one goalkeeper assist per season here in League One. Carlos Marancio had the first two, one in each of the first two seasons. And now Nuhu gets involved. Perhaps more importantly, though, for Nuhu and this back line of the Owls, they're on the verge of their third consecutive shutout. Just 5 minutes away from it. They won the first and second games of the season, both by the same 2-0 scoreline. The energy of the match changed as soon as Conway and Hurst were inserted. And Jay Mims' move pays off as Hurst gets the goal. Up to Omaha now to see it through. Fans, you can follow New England Revolution 2 and the rest of USL League 1 all season long on ESPN+, home of the USL, MLS, Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Join the more than 12 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN+ and watch League 1 live every week. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com. A lot of action to catch this weekend. One game on Saturday, 4 games on Sunday. 3 of those on ESPN+, the other on ESPN2 for the first time in league history. Omaha will be a part of that against Greenville. Forward towards Conway. Evan Conway stumbles over his own feet. Turf Monster got him. Had a chance at 3 goals in 3 matches. Buck goes back for O'Hearn. Time running out for New England. Their 3rd match of the season, first in 25 days. 1 a win, 1 a loss. This one trending towards a loss, but they still have some time, and now they have a set piece from a good area to get across in. But it's taken quickly. Rosansky sends it in. Osumanu heads it back wisely to Nuhu. Chemistry between those two guys about as good as it gets. Nuhu, Osumanu, both from Akragana, roommates out in Omaha. Spent the entirety of quarantine together last year. Jay Mims called it a brotherly relationship, love-hate, fun to watch, and enjoys it on the field for moments like that, where Osumanu is able to just calmly head it back to Nuhu. They know where the other will be at all times. Michel touches it past Doyle. Quick give and go with Rosansky. Now out for Presley. Presley's cross is deflected by Villader. Headed back to Nuhu. 2 to go of the 90. No official word yet on stoppage time. Whistle goes against Hurst. Handball against the goal scorer. His goal in the 84th on the assist from Rashid Nuhu, the difference. Another sub prepares for Omaha. Their 5th and final it would be. Presley keeps it in. End line. Just over the line. Jacob Kroll coming in for the Owls. And Nicholas Firmino will step out. Substitution brought to you by Santander. Good shift put in by Firmino against his former club. He will not become the second player in League One to score on both sides of a matchup. By that I mean Alex Morel scored as a member of Tormenta against Greenville, and as a member of Greenville against Tormenta. Firmino scored as a member of New England against Omaha, but not the other way around just quite yet. They'll have another meeting this year. The next guy who will have a chance at that, Jake Keegan, on both sides of the Greenville-Madison matchup. And Madison will be taking part in the next game you'll see here in League One. Foul in the middle of the park against Hurst. Card comes out of the pocket. This is the first midweek game of the season. The next game in a traditional Saturday slot up in Wisconsin at Breese Stevens for the first time in 601 days, a regular season match on their home turf for Forward Madison. That's followed by a quadruple header on Sunday, starting at 4 o'clock, ESPN2, Omaha and Greenville. There's another look on the NL replay at the yellow card against Greg Hurst. 5th of the match in all, 3 against New England, 2 against Omaha. Into the United Healthcare stoppage time. 3 minutes given for New England to try to get back into this one. Down a goal. Presley taken down. Out for a corner. The first corner of the match for New England. Brought to you by JetBlue. Michel sends it in. Center of the box, flicked on by Osumanu, out for another corner. Second JetBlue corner kick in rapid succession. The first 2 of the match for New England coming in stoppage time of the second half. Can they make it count? Greg Hurst in the 84th minute. The decisive goal at the moment. Spalding takes. Good ball sent in, but no blue jerseys crashing to it. Hurst clears. Rice way off his line to get out there in front of Connor Doyle. About 60 seconds remaining for New England to push for the equalizer. In danger of falling to 1-2-0. Out for Spalding. Boyce defends. Fujiwara. Cleared away by Osumanu, only as far as Rivera. But he got caught up in his knees. Could not make anything of it. Tico Rivera has been the bright spot of the match for New England. Noel Buck. Back for O'Hearn. Time running out. Conway pressuring. That'll help milk some more time off the clock. O'Hearn sends it down towards the corner. Chested down by Spalding. But the assistant referee says it was over the line, out for a throw. 3 minutes have come and gone. Whistle from Adam Kilpatrick coming at any moment. Omaha looking to start a perfect 3-0 and join Greenville with 9 points atop the standings ahead of this Sunday's match between the two sides. Surely the last attack now for New England. Presley can't get it to Sierakowski. Conway clears, and there's the final whistle. A hard-fought victory for Union Omaha. 1-0, they win on the road against New England to go to 9 points through 3 games, sitting atop the table with Greenville. Clint PA's side plays its first match in 25 days and falls to J-Mim squad. Final score brought to you by Dan O'Brien Automotive Group. Union Omaha 1, New England Revolution none. The assist from Rashid Nuhu to Greg Hurst in the 84th minute gets the job done for the Owls. Team shaking hands. Ryan Spalding is today's man of the match. Good shift put in down the left side for New England. 7 clearances, 7 duels. Joined a lot of attacks. Brought to you by United Healthcare. But unable to help New England to some points. A look at the save of the match now. Opportunity early in the game. Early in the half, on the scissor kick from Conway. Brought to you by Michelob Ultra. That kept it 0-0 for a little bit longer, but Omaha breaks through in the end. But there's your save of the match brought to you by Michelob Ultra, courtesy of Joe Rice on Evan Conway. Space cut down quickly by Sosa. Enters it for Boyce, turning. Boyce, shot towards the far post. We'll be back in a few more moments to wrap this one up between Omaha and New England. The Owls get it done. 1-0, they win here on ESPN+. Back here at Gillette Stadium. A 1-0 victory for Union Omaha. Brought to you by Dan O'Brien Automotive Group. Goal courtesy of Greg Hurst. Assist from Rashid Nuhu. Players chatting it up post-game after the Owls' victory. We'll take a look now at the play of the match, brought to you by Michelob Ultra. Came all the way back in the first half on the attack down the wing from Damian Rivera. Foot race won against Souza. Nutmeg down the wing. Everything that was missing, everything was there except for the goal, Nuhu makes the save on the NL play of the match. Nifty play from Rivera, but unable to make it count in the end. A 1-0 victory for the Owls. Take a look at the full-time highlights brought to you by Gillette. Opportunities for both teams in the first half. Neither team able to convert. Villader goes down the wing, finds Boyce in a lot of space, but not enough power on it to beat Rice at the far post. Some early signs from the Owls that their offense was up to the task in this one. It took a while to finally break through, but late in the second half, the chances started coming at a more frequent rate after Greg Hurst and Evan Conway were subbed into the match. Here's Conway on the scissor kick that was saved at the near post by Joe Rice, and both of the subs getting involved there. Hurst helped in the build-up, comes all the way over to Conway for the shot and save by Joe Rice. Then in the 78th minute, another chance for the Owls. Came down to Greg Hurst. Laid it off for Boyce. Back to Firmino and put it just wide of the target against his former team. At this stage of the match, everything was tilted in Omaha's favor. And finally, 84th minute, they were able to break through. Shot from New England was going wide. Nuhu grabbed it anyway, and on the punt, just dropped it on a dime for Greg Hurst. Couple of touches, and then he curls it past Rice in at the far post. The only goal of the match, and it gives the Owls a 1-0 victory over New England. Full-time stats brought to you by Geico. Another day in which the Owls just sent a lot of shots in. Only 5 made it to the target. 7 shots, just 1 on target for New England. Possession pretty even, but in the end, all that matters, the 1 in the goal column for Union Omaha, a 0 in that column for New England. 3 more points for the Owls. They sit at the top of the table with 9 points, 3-0 through 3 matches. Greenville also up there with them. First wins for the Owls were both 2-0. This one 1-0 in favor of Union Omaha. Again, the goal scored by Greg Hurst in the 84th minute. There were opportunities for New England, but they were not able to cash in. First time they played in 25 days. A look at the updated standings brought to you by Dan O'Brien Automotive Group. Greenville, Omaha at the top. They meet Sunday, 4 p.m. on ESPN2. Here in the 12-team standings once again after we were down to 11 last year. New England sits in 8th with 3 points. North Carolina, the first time they're on a standings graphic here in League One, but they are at the bottom. Toronto FC yet to join the fray. But Greenville and Omaha at the top. A great performance late in the second half for the Owls after the substitutions were made by Jay Mims. It comes through with a Greg Hurst goal, and they get the victory. For my producer, Ryan Rose, and the rest of our incredible crew, I'm Joe Malfa, signing off from Gillette Stadium. Union Omaha 1, New England Revolution none. Plenty more action to come this week in USL League One. 1 match on Saturday, 4 on Sunday. Come back for it all.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.